Hello everyone, welcome to today's video. So I'm in the Sheffield Maker Shop. I've still got to do today's folktale prompt. It's busy out there and this is the only chance I've had to say hello to you since I've arrived, and it's like after 12 now. So today's job is to try and get the Folktale Week picture done while we've got customers to serve, and I don't know, we'll see. We're going to see how it goes. Keep watching and let's see whether I get it finished or not. I should say that the prompt for today is underground, and I'm going to be using the story Toller's Neighbours from Denmark. Okay, this is what I've got so far, and because I'd done an illustration based on these characters before, I took a photo of it on the iPad at the shop and then used that as a kind of reference for the characters to give them consistency. But here's some steps leading down into their place, and they're setting it up ready for a meeting. So I'm going to work through this piecemeal in between customers to see how far I get. It's very busy today because of graduations in the city, so who knows how far I'll get. Join me for the process. Sometimes you don't have all the time in the world to do an illustration, and this is one of those days. Okay, so first layer's on. I just need to let that dry. I had a bit of problems because the only brush pen that I had was this one, and it was full of red. So I had to go and wash it, and even when I washed it, the colour was still bleeding out red, and I wanted it to be green, so it took a few washes to get that done, but it seems to be working. So I'm just going to layer this up. So actually it's coming along nicely. I thought it was going to be a silly idea to try and get this Folktale Week post finished while I was staffing the Sheffield Maker Shop, but actually it's going really well, because I was originally toying with the idea of just scrapping today's and just like postponing it until the end of the week, but actually it's all right so far. I'm just letting that yellow layer dry, and then start adding the detail and the pastels, and I don't know if I'm speaking too soon here, but I think I might actually get it finished before I go home, but let's see. Once upon a time, a young man and a young woman had a little cottage with a little field where they lived. This cottage lay in the middle of a wild heath, and in the neighbourhood were a number of old grave mounds, which it was said were inhabited by mount folk, though Toller cared little for that. Late one evening they were sitting talking together and heard a knock at the door. Upon opening it, in walked a little man and wished them good evening. He had a red cap on his head, a long beard and long hair. They immediately knew him to be a troll. Notwithstanding, he looked so good-natured and friendly that they were not at all afraid of him. "We have heard that you have come to live here, and our king is fearful that you will do us harm." "Be at your ease, good man," said Toller. "The world is large enough for us all." And from that day forwards, Toller lived in peace and concord with the people of the Mount. One evening, someone knocked at the door, and a man from the Mount walked in. He brought a greeting to Toller from the king, who requested that they come over, for the king had a matter of importance about which he wished to talk to him. The man of the Mount wept, but would not impart the cause of his grief. On descending into the cave, they found it decorated with flowers. "I invited you to come over to us because we all wish to thank you for having been very kind and friendly, but now there are so many churches built in this land with great bells which ring so loud that we can bear it no longer. We are going to leave and pass over to Norway. We now wish you farewell, Toller, as we must part." Well, if you stayed to the end, congratulations, and also congratulations to me. I'm very, very proud of myself for finishing this illustration not in my studio. I honestly thought that I would have to miss this post for Folktale Week, but I did it. I'm also really happy with the light that I've created. Folktale Week's actually been really good at helping me to develop a scene, help me to practice finished illustrations, and also to draw and paint an illustration that's linked to a story. So I've really, really enjoyed that. I mean, just look at the light. I'm really proud of my development over the last year. I think I've come on leaps and bounds, especially in my confidence to finish an illustrated piece and to know that it's good enough and it works. So thank you very much for joining me today. I am going to pack up now because it's home time, and I'll see you in the next one.